Next, we're going to assemble our millet salad. So I've got the cooked millet here in the pan. It's had a few minutes to just rest, covered, so that to make sure that all the grains are fully cooked. And I'm going to scoop that into my big bowl here to allow them to cool a little bit further. Now it's going to come out in chunks at first because the millet is well cooked and soft. But what I want to do is to break that millet up so that it's individual grains. As the millet begins to cool, it will continue to separate into the individual grains. If you try and rush the process and you pull it out too soon out of the pan, it'll be more creamy and smooth and may not be as crumbly like individual grains. So you want to give it ample time to cool in the pan with the lid on first, and that will help the process enormously. So I'm going to take a minute and chop up the pieces here a little bit so that I get more grains. And we'll give that a moment to cool off. The next process we want to do is to make just a simple dressing. You can make this as simple or as complicated as you like. I just mix a little bit of oil and vinegar together, and you can use lemon juice or lime juice, maybe a little bit of orange juice for flavor. There's lots of different ways to make a dressing. If you have a dressing recipe that is your favorite, you can use that as well. But since I'm going to just use these two together, I don't really even need to combine them so much. So I'm just going to add them right to my bowl. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and some pepper. That's good. I'm going to add just a little bit of some olive oil. Now, some of you may not like to cook with a lot of oil, and that's fine. It doesn't require oil. You can also use some nuts and seeds or a little bit of avocado if you want to add some plant-based whole food fats to the mixture. So I'm going to sprinkle on my balsamic vinegar. You could also use apple cider vinegar, a rice wine vinegar, champagne vinegar, so you can get pretty creative in that. I'll give that a little stir. So I'm going to add in some thawed frozen peas. And next up, we're going to add our vegetables. So we've got a couple of different things here. So I'm going to add in a couple of scallions. Now, many of you know that if you have roots on the ends of your scallions, you can plant those in your garden, and those will grow a new scallion. Or if you have a house plant around, you can probably stick it in your house plant. But since I don't have that right here, I'm going to set those aside for later and add some of my green onion. So green onions add a lot of sulfur to our meals, which is a powerful anti-cancer and anti-inflammatory component to our meals. It also has chlorophyll. It's green, so anything green helps our liver. So next we're going to cut up our bell pepper. I probably won't use the whole thing, but I'll cut off the top and I can slice that. By cutting off the top first, then I can reach inside and just unscrew the seed portion of the bell pepper and pull out any additional seeds that I would prefer not to eat in my salad. And this way, then I can just make a slice that way, maybe take the end off. And then I can do nice, neat little ribbons of bell pepper like this. And then I can line up my bell pepper ribbons. Oh, I got one here that's a little big. And then I can make smaller cuts. I think one of the things that I see with a lot of my clients here at Table Health is that they really need extra help with learning how to cut vegetables and how to make things feel good in the mouth. You know, the mouthfeel with food is really important. So I'm going to add my bell pepper, and I'm going to use up this portion here. Or if you have pets around that like little Scooby snacks, you can throw the dog a Scooby snack if they like bell peppers. But by adding the bell pepper, it adds a lot of flavor and color, as well as extra vitamin C. So now I've got most of my ingredients added. And last but not least, I'm going to add some leafy greens. So I have here some fresh arugula. You could also use a baby kale mix or spinach, a little bit of parsley, some cilantro. It just depends on what you have on hand. I'm gonna chop up the leaves so that they're a little more bite-sized and easier to chew. Again, that mouthfeel is really important when we're cooking with whole food ingredients. So I can chop this up in a couple of batches. Adding more leafy greens into our diet really helps our digestion by providing a lot of iron and calcium, fiber, potassium, as well as magnesium, which many people are deficient in. They end up taking supplements for magnesium. If they could eat more beans and whole grains and leafy greens, they would do much better. So I'm going to add my leafy greens to the mix here and then combine the whole salad together. If I decide it's a little bit dry, I can add a little bit more of my balsamic and olive oil components, or lemon juice or orange juice, and moisten it up that way. Or if you have some pomegranate juice, that would be nice. Some people buy pomegranate vinegar as well. I do a lot of dressing recipes made out of pureed herbs and cucumber and cashews like we had talked about earlier. So doing a cashew cream based dressing or a pesto would be nice with this. If you have a pesto sauce using pine nuts and pureed basil and garlic. So then we have a nice, beautiful, colorful salad that travels well. This is a nice main dish. So if you want a plant-based main dish, this would be a go-to entree. For that, we've got some, peas as well as our greens and our grains. So we've got a protein component. I might serve this with a steamed vegetable or some grilled zucchini, maybe as a side dish. If you enjoy poultry or fish, you might serve this as a side dish, or simply an afternoon snack if you have a little bit left over. So this would be a lovely component. As I mentioned, we can also, this is a cooked millet salad, but you could also do this with brown rice or wild rice or quinoa. Those would be perfect substitutions. So I hope you've enjoyed our Making Gluten-Free Meals and that I've given you some inspiration and encouragement to step out of the box and try some new things. And if I can be of any support to you here at Table Health, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, inbox at tablehealthtc.com. You can give us a call, 231-333-1331, or you can go online, check out our website for other programs that we may offer, both within the gluten-free realm, and we have many other topics that you may be interested in. So I hope that we get to connect with you again real soon. Thanks so much.